One of the last wild places in the United States, Custer State Park boasts 71,000 acres of lakes, towering pine trees, gentle creeks, and massive granite outcroppings.
And don't forget about the wildlife. Being surrounded by bison, or buffalo as we know them as, is just incredibly awesome.
On this first of 2 episodes, we're going to show you several ways to see the park, where we made base camp, and how to navigate during Sturgis Motorcycle Week.
On this episode of Roaming with Rosie.
South Dakota's Black Hills portion of our trip was about to begin. We chose to make the small town of Hot Springs our base camp at the foot of the Black Hills for the next few weeks. When searching for RV camp spots for our 40-foot motorhome, our first choice is always public campgrounds. Not only is the cost usually much less, but sites are usually much more spacious and designed to immerse you into the natural beauty of the park. A friend suggested Angostura Lake State Park in Hot Springs, and it was perfect. This is a massive lake with 36 miles of shoreline with sandy beaches next to the campgrounds. We'll share more about it in an upcoming episode. We patted ourselves on the back for choosing to travel in a motorhome towing our Honda CR-V that gets good gas mileage, because we were about to put some serious mileage on the car, exploring as much as we could in the next few weeks. Custer State Park was first up on the itinerary. Encompassing 71,000 acres of granite peaks and rolling plains, it's known for its wildlife, lakes, beautiful drives, hiking trails, and much more. Entering this state park is a bit different than entering a national park. There's several places to enter, with many of the roads leading to other destinations in the Black Hills. If you're driving US Highway 16A through the park, you don't need a pass. Otherwise, it's required. But you can drive right past the stations if you already have one. Since we were already staying at a state park, we purchased an annual pass for just $36, which was good at all South Dakota state parks. That way we didn't have to wait behind the hundreds of bikers entering the park. If you've been following this series, you know that we previously thought it would be cool to visit this area during the month of Sturgis Week. And right here, right now, is when the cool idea became not so much fun anymore. To be fair, Custer State Park and other entities in the Black Hills do their best to let the rest of the world know that this is Sturgis time, and they support this boon to their local economies, and it helps them get through the rest of the year. We get it. We didn't have to like it, but we get it. We've done our best to keep the sound of Harleys in the background of these videos at a minimum. We started at the main visitor center to decide how best to explore the park. I always enjoy the informational films as they really show you what you're about to see and provide that sense of wonder. The film, Spirit of Tatanka, didn't disappoint. A $500,000 production narrated by Kevin Costner can be viewed on the big screen in the 100-seat theater of this new visitor center. I put a link in the description so you can see a preview of it. The visitor center itself contains lots of great displays, and the staff, many of them work campers spending the summer here, enjoyed sharing their love and knowledge of the park with us. For our first day, we chose to explore the park by car. It was a cool day and we had Dexter along for the ride. Just across from the main visitor center is the beginning of the 18-mile Wildlife Loop State Scenic Byway. what's right there. Tatanka. Yeah. Right here. Oh, it's the soars. Dexter, what do you think? Huh? What are they? Tatanka. We stopped at the Wildlife Station Visitor Center after the drive to learn more about the wildlife here, especially the bison. The annual Buffalo Roundup is held in September, and we learned all about it at this stop. The goals of the park are to continue to maintain a healthy balance between the number of bison and the available rangeland for them. This roundup allows them to manage the herd and treat medical conditions. With the intent to keep the herd to about 1,400, a few hundred are sold at auction each year. Some of these will be brought into other herds to strengthen and bring new DNA to them. There's links in the description for videos and more information about this. We managed to enjoy a delicious and affordable lunch at Legion Lake Dockside Grill without too much noise. Our food was homemade with healthy ingredients, and it was delicious, and we highly recommend it. One nice thing about most state parks is that dogs are allowed on the hiking trails. Nearby Legion Lake is the Badger Clark Trail, a short, fairly easy hike to get out and stretch in the shade of towering pine trees. Today we're going to do the Badger Clark Trail here in Custer State Park. This behind me is Badger Hole, and it was the home that the cowboy prayer author lived at. Basically moved out here, lived alone. It's said that he fed flapjacks to the deer out his window, and always dressed nicely, polished boots, and he said he pities the man who has a steady job. Built himself a place away from everything, communed with the animals, and paid $10 a month in rent for the property. So we're gonna do the Badger Clark Trail. It's a 1-mile loop. It's not easy because some of it's uphill. Otherwise it could be an easy category, but it's a perfect day without motorcycles. I hear one in the distance, that we can enjoy the area. So there's these info boards along the way on the trail. A cool thing that Badger Clark also said was he was suspicious of any religion that makes a man grim or gloomy. So I thought that was kind of cool too. Don't know if you can tell from the camera's angle, but this has been all uphill. Quite an ascent. Trails are marked. In this case, there's not really any other way to go. Cabin is down there. Dexter's like, come on, Mom, come on. I'm getting the hang of this. So this seems to be the peak of the trail. You ready to go back down? You want some water first? Huh? Drink of water? There you go. Don't step in it. Dexter, have some water. Oh, I guess there's not much left to do but to descend. Something's got him stressed. Something he smells. He wants to go back the way we came. Get me off this mountain. But I'm distracted by this rock. Yeah. Today we're not able to see inside the cabin, but they say that the Park Service left it exactly as he left it, with his boots standing up ready to wear and all of his stuff still there. The next day we returned to Custer State Park, and this time we found a hidden gem. Well, at least during Sturgis, but this was a place of peace and tranquility. In fact, Center Lake is one of the least known lakes in the park, the perfect place to escape the crowds and enjoy a picnic. We got away from the noise, came down here to Center Lake, which is where the playhouse is. Just past the playhouse, you turn right. And there's a whole campground down here, but also picnic tables along the lake. There's kayaking. Looks like they rent kayaks and stuff too. People are fishing. And guess what? Can you hear it? Do you hear the motorcycles? No, we don't hear the motorcycles. So we had a nice lunch down here. And it's a really pretty area. I don't think we could camp in here with our RV. There's low trees, but not only that, we need solar, so there's a lot of trees, and our Starlink, so we need open sky. But otherwise, if you had a small setup, I would recommend. This is a nice quiet place away from it all. So there is a trail that goes around the lake. Again, this is Center Lake. This looks like kayaks you could rent here. We did see the rangers down here when we got here. We'll see some people out fishing in kayaks, and it looks like they also do a program. Them are canoes and one kayak. But there's a beach over there. So anyone that's in the park can go to the beach, I assume. The Needles Highway is one of several magnificent scenic drives through forests of pine, spruce, birch, and aspen, and rugged granite mountains. The road's name comes from the needle-like granite formations which seem to pierce the horizon along the highway, but it's also known for its tunnels. With all the traffic, rangers managing the entrance to the first single-lane tunnel were helped out by a stormtrooper the day we drove it. This roadway was carefully planned by former South Dakota Governor Peter Norbeck, who marked the entire course on foot and by horseback, and construction was completed in 1922. Visitors traveling the highway pass Sylvan Lake and a unique rock formation called the Needles Eye, named for the opening eroded by wind, rain, freezing, and thawing. Several stunning viewpoints can be found along the drive, some with short walks to discover even more hidden sights. stormtroopers and rangers must have been in short supply at the Iron Creek Tunnel. It seems we were all left to fend for ourselves this time. Needles Highway closes to vehicles with the first snow of the season and does not reopen until April 1st or even later, depending on conditions. On our next episode, we'll continue our exploration of Custer State Park with an incredible hike along the Cathedral Spires Trail, where we again found solace from the noise and exhaust. We'll have our first glimpse of Mount Rushmore from the park's Iron Mountain Road, and as the Sturgis Bike Week came to a close, we'll show you some of the wildlife who came out of hiding as the Black Hills return to its normal, peaceful place.
Hey roamers, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Roaming with Rosie. For more information regarding this video, please check out the links in the video description below,
as well as products and equipment we use and recommend. We sometimes do receive a small commission when you use our links for purchases, which is a great way at no additional cost to you to help offset some of our production costs. Thank you so much for watching and sharing our videos and subscribing to Roaming with Rosie. We'd love to hear from you and encourage your comments and questions. Until next time, see ya!